Most people think that buying a house starts with a quick Zillow search and an open house visit. The truth is, that's how you end up confused, overwhelmed, and sometimes way over budget. Looking at houses online is really fun. That's the first place that people think to start. And you end up going to seeing houses that you don't even want to pay for, or houses that end up having way too many problems. And we work too hard to waste time, to stress out, and to overpay on something that's this important. It starts with a good strategy, and buying your home should feel smart, strategic, and even empowering. But here's how we like to do things differently. So, the first thing we do is we put a real plan in place, and it's not just based on a hope and a guess. Excuse me. It starts by setting up the right foundation with two critical moves. The first thing is you want somebody on your team that's going to be working with you and representing your best interest. This is not a sales pitch, but think about it. If you're going to do something anywhere, if you're going to make a big purchase anywhere, one of the biggest purchases in your life, you need somebody to start out by giving you good advice. And your friends and families can give you suggestions on how to do that. But when it comes down to it, you need a real professional and a real advisor to help you. So we memorialize with something called a buyer's agency agreement. When you and I work to or agree to work together, we're formalizing it with that thing that's called a buyer's agency agreement. And here's why it's good for you. First of all, it gives you access to not only us, but a trusted network of inspectors, lenders, contractors, movers. It's basically project management from start to finish. You don't chase paperwork, I do. You are also getting expertise. You have a trained, licensed expert negotiating and protecting and advising you at every step. Another thing that you get there is exclusivity, and you get access to all the deals on the market that fit exactly what you're looking for, and you get them as soon as they come on the market. A lot of people think by going to third party websites, they can find that thing quickly, but you got to know how to find them quickly, and you got to have access to them quickly if you're looking to move on something that you really need. The other thing that's really important is personalization. Um, every property that you pursue is going to be handpicked for your needs, not random searches. And it's going to be customized in a way that you're not ending up wasting a lot of time driving around to make sure it fits you. We're clarifying at the very beginning to make sure that house is what you want. If you don't have a clear outcome from the beginning, then when you walk into a house that you really like, you may have issues with it, or you're not going to know exactly what it is. So we start at the very beginning by planning. And what this does is it simply connects you. The agreement says, hey, I work 100% for you with your goals in mind and your protection on the forefront of everything. The next big thing that we do is we set up a financial strategy. It's not just qualification or you know, pre-qualification. That would be simply going to a lender and saying, "Hey, can I afford this?" Um, with the financial game plan, what we would do is you would fill out an application, and we would have one of the trusted lenders that we work with call you and walk you through your best loan options. This gives you two advantages. First of all, you have the confidence knowing exactly what you're approved for. There are there are places out there, there are banks, and they are based on the ability to get you in the front door. I used to work at a bank, and we got a point value assigned to us when we got somebody in the door, and we were able to say, hey, we got a loan application today. Now, whether it closed or not was a different story. That loan application would get extra points for us and it would look really good on our performance reviews. But you don't want somebody, presumably, you don't want somebody working for you that just wants to funnel you back to the underwriters. You want somebody who's going to do really good due diligence up front to make sure there's no hidden issues. Because when you move to buy a house, you're putting due diligence, you're putting money down to say, hey, we want to be exclusive with you in this contract. And if that loan officer has not done the work that they need to do at the very beginning, and they say, oh, you know what? We actually can't get you the loan. Guess who loses? It's you. It's not the lender. So you need to make sure that you have a high level of confidence, knowing exactly what you're approved for and what monthly payments actually look like based on today's interest rates. You also, when you work with one of our lenders, you get to decide what you're comfortable spending. Not the lender, not me, not anybody else. So this is basically how we handle your budget. Now, you might go and get pre-qualified for way more than you actually want to spend. Let's say maybe you qualify for 10 million, but you only want a monthly payment of $2,500, not whatever a $10 million payment would look like over 30 years. Now, there are tactics out there where agents could deliberately show you homes above your budget to try to stretch you emotionally. And this tactic works really well because you get to see, if you're looking at a $400,000 house and you go out and you see a $500,000 house, guess which house is automatically going to look better? Now, what position you're in is you're trying to rationalize, well, maybe we should spend more. Maybe we should stretch that budget or the monthly payment, when from the outset, you shouldn't be playing games. You're executing based on that first goal that you set up. Now, if you're looking for a $100,000 around the lake areas that normally sell for $1 million, we call that a unicorn. And if you're in that scenario, we point that out. We say, hey, you want this type of house? This is what these houses are selling for. What would you like to do, seller? What would you like to do, buyer? So I don't do that ever unless you tell me, hey, we need to add more to the price. We need more of a house. My job is not to sell you more house. My job is to help you get the right house with the right financial plan that you set. And by the way, that makes me look good whenever you have a good transaction. That's how I've gotten most of my business. Whenever I do a good job for you, you're going to want to tell your friends and your family about me. And that is the real win in business, not just a quick sale or a quick purchase. It's when you are able to say good things. That's a good long-term business model. So we build your price range off of those two numbers of what you can buy and what you want to pay, and we stick to it, just period. So how the process works from here is we do an analysis or a question-based setup. Here's the process that I use to make buying a home simple and strategic. So I would say, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, or Miss Seller, may I take you through the buying process that I use whenever I help a buyer purchase a home? First, you do an application with a trusted lender. They give you a call and you work out exactly what that number is. Second, I ask you if you're comfortable with that budget. I'll ask you specific types of questions about the home you want and what you're looking for. And then we will select the best homes that fit your needs and your budget without endless driving around to random listings. Now, the average first-time home buyer sees about 10 homes. And what my job is, over the first 3 homes that we see, maybe you like the third home, right? But it's going to take me about 3 homes to analyze what you want and go, hey, I'm in sync with you. And if we're out of sync and we're looking at the 20th home and we're still browsing houses, then as an expert, I've done something wrong for you. And I need to step in and say, hey, where did I get this conversation wrong? What do I need to update in my mind? Now, if you go out and you like the third house or second house, that's fine. But I'll be asking you very pointed questions in this to make sure this is really the house for you. Fourth, when we find the right property, I'm going to ask you, hey, do you want to move forward with it? You got to be ready, willing, and able when you're going to find a house. The fifth thing is I'm going to negotiate on your behalf. Every scenario is different, and every seller is different, and every buyer is different. So there are things that need to be uncovered in that process to make sure we're doing the best job negotiating on your behalf. That's also what a buyer's agent representation gets you, is no confusion. It says, hey, I'm working only for your interests. Now, once that's done, we'll work together every day to move forward towards a smooth closing. And if that's a process that would make buying a home easier for you, then this is something that you probably want to chat with us about. Now, does this guarantee that you're going to find the perfect house on the first day? Not necessarily, but real estate is a real life scenario. It's not a movie thing like HGTV or any of that other fun stuff. But what I do guarantee is that you'll know exactly what's going on. You'll be well informed. You'll be in control. You'll be protective and never pressured into anything that isn't right for you. That is the most important thing for us. And like I say, it looks better as a long-term business model for us. All right. You're already setting yourself up better than most buyers do when you're going to start the process. Now let's get into module 2, where I'll actually show you how we search smarter, not harder, and we use metrics and not emotions. I'll see you there.